Corporate Recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first, a software engineer front end. This is going to be a garbage resume, and I can tell that because they left me a note that stated they have taken over 150 applications to get an interview, and that is how you know how good your resume is how many applications it takes to get an interview. So I will read the rest of their note after I review this in 20 seconds, because that is the only amount of time I have. That is the only amount of time any recruiter has, is about 20 seconds. And just before I start, letting everybody know, I do non-tech resumes, but tech is really, really, really bad right now. So half of the people that submit resumes to me are in tech. So this is a software engineer, front-end developer. And what we're looking for is JavaScript, React, AngularJS, HTML, CSS, PHP. I'm aware, I don't know why PHP is there, but I've seen it in job descriptions a lot for front-end roles, so you need it there. SQL, Scrum, Agile, RESTful API, SEO, Git, Docker, Jira, Node.js, Vue, Next, and bonus for extra language, cloud, UI, UX, SASS, not SAAS, TypeScript, and WordPress. And to be clear, if I only see the bonus stuff and not the other stuff, that is going to be a rejection. The bonus is extra credit, and you cannot pass on extra credit alone. I need 75% of the other stuff. So, away we go, and go. Okay, can't use anything here. Can't hyperlink. Okay, found and constructed crossplay using React, TypeScript, Bootstrap, Capacitor. Okay, not what I'm looking for. Management with React, not what I'm looking for. Design constructed views, again, not what I'm looking for. I think Figma, maybe? And led a 15 students over workflows and collaborative systems. Okay, there is absolutely nothing here I would really need for a front end. Is there anything I missed in my list? No, and again, I only got down here, and it's not letting me highlight it for some reason. I don't know why. So what did this person say? I've applied to around 150 jobs and I've gotten a single screening or interview. Yeah, because there's nothing here that would tell me that you've done front end. This reads more like actually nothing. This doesn't read like anything. It kind of reads like you almost went for full stack, but you didn't. And I do know that sounds insane, since full stack does mean both front end and back end, but the job descriptions for a full stack role are different than a front end role and a back end role. And a resume that gets you a really, really good full stack job will fail to get you a really, really good front end job. So again, your resume needs to be tailored to the job title. So formatting wise, let me first say it's not terrible, right? Like, this is the best formatting I think you can use. It's mine. It's in the link below, but this is still acceptable, right? Mine is better, but they did not fail due to formatting. The only thing is this, right? You do need to delete all of this. Nothing here matters. Let's see. So there have been many 2 to 3 different resumes through all those applications, with this being the final one. Rip it apart, and I want the blatant truth. I think I'm very talented and should be a good choice. Well, I will let you know the brutal truth is that talent doesn't matter in a resume. We're not looking for talent in resume. I think entry-level recruiters are, and hiring managers are in the very beginning when they don't understand it, but a resume doesn't show talent. That's not what a resume does. You're not going to see how good somebody is through a resume. That's what the interview is for. That is why you need to stand out in the interview, but not in the resume. A resume's goal, and its only goal, is to show that you meet the bare minimum qualifications enough to get a phone screen or a hiring manager screen. That is it. If you try to go past meeting those bare minimum qualifications, which are these, then you will fail. That is not what resumes are built for. So, my advice to this is, yes, you could do a little bit better with formatting, delete this, and then, make the rest look like this. But the big thing is, you said front end. What part of this is front end? Seriously, like, if I'm looking for front end, did you notice, like, besides React, right? Just React, that's the only thing I really see here. I need JavaScript, I need HTML, I need CSS. If you are going for front end and full stack, actually, you need JavaScript, HTML, CSS. But Lee, you may say, every single person has that. Yeah, I know. And those are the people that put in their resume, they're ones getting an interview. I've had this same argument with accountants. I've had this same argument with nurses. Close to, a decade ago. Almost a decade ago. I have had this argument repeatedly with almost every single industry, is that you need the basics. The basics get you a job. That is what it does. You know, in the interview, they may test if you know how to use a Mac OS, iPad, GPA tracker with capacitors, but you're not going to get that interview unless you put used JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and I guess maybe PHP in this case, and SQL to do X and Y. You need the basic stuff in your resume. That gets you a job more than any percentage or anything. So the brutal truth is your resume shows that you are not qualified to be a front-end engineer because you don't show anything that can be used for the front end, except maybe React, right? And I know TypeScript is in both, so maybe TypeScript. So, like, again, the bonuses are extra credit. Where is the view? Can I highlight stuff here if I Control F? Let's see. No, okay, yeah, it's not letting me do that. So you cannot put JavaScript here. You have to put it here. You cannot put HTML and CSS here. You have to put it here. You cannot put, well, actually, there's nothing else. So, yeah, you need more, right? Like, you're under the impression that what I'm looking for is this GPA tracking, real-time calculations. No, I'm looking for the basics. That's what gets people a job. It is the fundamental rule of a resume is that if you put stuff that is not the basic bare minimum qualifications, you will have a problem. I have gotten people with 10 plus years of experience jobs that get past the hiring manager by telling them to put in the equivalent of JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. So yes, the truth of your resume is that it's garbage. It's terrible. It's absolutely bad because there's nothing here that a person that would see front end and go, I need to move you forward. Because there's not. There's no JavaScript in the bullet points. Again, summaries and skill sections don't count. You have to tell me how you did it and the reason and result that you did it. Otherwise, it does not count. You don't tell me HTML, CSS. You don't show me any SQL. You don't show me Agile or RESTful APIs. You don't show me Git or Docker or Jira or Node.js or Vue or Next or SEO. And you don't even need all of that. You need 75% of that. But if you're a front-end developer and you don't have JavaScript, HTML, CSS in one of your first sentences, you are going to be in for a bad time. Heck, if you are an accountant and you don't have Excel or Gap, you're going to be in for a problem. If you're a nurse and you don't, well, in this case, nurses, if you were a nurse 5 years ago and you did not put in triage, took blood, and there's one other thing that I'm forgetting because it's been a while, then you would have struggles getting interviews. Now, though, now you're a nurse, they just move you forward if you have 2+ years of experience, doesn't even matter. But the point is, you need the basics, and you made the assumption that you were trying to impress me with this stuff. So your resume is garbage, and there's nothing here that is easily salvageable because you did not put what I need. You are basically going to somebody on a date, and they say, hey, what I'm looking for is somebody that, let's see, that date's a bad metaphor. Let's use food. Everybody knows food, right? You go to a restaurant, you order spaghetti, they give you a hamburger, you're going to be upset. That is what you did. You basically gave the client, in this case, the person hiring you, the wrong order. Because nothing in this resume is what they're looking for besides the education and the React. This is what they actually want to order. And it doesn't matter how basic or silly you think their order is at the restaurant. Your job to get a job is to fulfill that order. And that order is the basic stuff right here, which you did not do. So that is why your resume is garbage and why you've gotten like 0 interviews. It's because there's nothing here that is used for front end. And again, now maybe you're thinking, well, hold on, what about full stack? Well, yeah, there's some full stack stuff, but you don't have enough of the front end for the full stack, and you don't have enough of the back end for a back end role. You basically made your resume such that you would fit absolutely 0 roles, because I would need more Python for back end or other back end languages. I would need more front end for full stack. Your resume needs to be tailored to a job title. So that is all I can do for this resume. I do want to be clear. This is bad. That is how you fix it. Even though this is a garbage resume, I don't think your fixes are going to take that long. You kind of just need to add in the stuff they're actually looking for. But if you ever need more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I wanted to thank everybody for watching and subscribing to this channel. I really do appreciate it, especially those that can share and repost, and those of people that are my members. You get access to videos a little bit earlier than anybody else. So thank you all very much, and let's go on to the next resume. This is a resume of a person on my Twitch chat. This is their third or fourth time, I think, submitting. So to be clear, for this full stack developer role, which is what they want to go for, I am going to be exceptionally critical. This is their fourth time, so I'm going to pick apart any little flaw because by this point, the resume should be fantastic. So what we need is TypeScript, JavaScript, Python, CSS, HTML, React, and Vue.js. That is not correct. Actually, I got the wrong one. That was the Canadian one, which may not even be updated. So the US version is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. That part is still the same. Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, APIs, RESTful APIs, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, .NET or Python or Java, and a bonus points for architecture, extra language in Git and DevOps. So if you notice, this, despite being a full stack role, which includes front end, has different qualifications than the front end role. So that was the previous person's problem, is that these are two separate resumes. So I don't think we know this person's ratio, but let's tear it apart. So 20 seconds and go. Okay, good. Agile environment for clients across. Okay, good. Maintain source to Git version control and associated workflow Git actions. Autoplay to Google Cloud. Close to Java Spring. Data numbers. Pretty good. Integrated OOB to tag post stream metadata MongoDB. Applied object reliable cross-functionally senior teams. Okay. This is pretty good. Again, normally education would be up at the top, but they went from a boot camp, so that's why it's at the bottom. So normally education would be here, but in this case, because it's a boot camp, they put it at the bottom, which was the correct choice. I will say this is mostly good. Let me see what we're missing. So we have JavaScript, TypeScript, CSS, HTML, Node, which is good. Then we go with Git, but that is a bonus. Implemented CI/CD is good. I saw cross-functional lower, and RESTful APIs is good. And I did see SQL. Yes, SQL. And kind of cloud. I know you did have cloud, but we want to... This is going to be very nitpicky. This should not be Google Cloud. This should be Google Cloud Platform. And then in parentheses, put GCP. That is a minor complaint, but it is possible the person recruiting for that, both the hiring manager and the recruiter, do not know that. So they may be looking for GCP and not realize that stands for Google Cloud Platform. Hopefully they do, but you cannot assume competency on the other person. So that's a minor complaint. And I don't see, I think, Angular. I did see Agile. So, and you did have Java, which was good with the Spring Boot. So I'd say this is mostly good. My only real complaint is these are a little wordy. They're not bad. I want to be clear. They're a little wordy. Like, I would, instead of manage source code, I'd rather you just say used Git and implemented CI/CD workflows with GitHub actions to automate testing and deployment to the Google Cloud Platform cross development and production environment. So there are minor tweaks we can make here to shrink these. And I would say, is there order off? I don't think so. The order is relatively good. For environment, for clients across automotive, that's good because you tell me the domains. So yeah, I think you just can shrink one or two of these, and then these should be switched. These bullet points down here should be switched. So again, you wanted well, I guess because you have full stack up here, it's just if you're going full stack, I really do want to see JavaScript, HTML, CSS in the first one. So maybe you could even combine these. But it's also a smaller job from June to October. It's like 4 to 5 months. So you may want to put contract if that was a contract one. But otherwise, I think this is mostly solid. Just like I said, some minor tweaks. Like here is a little too much. Like MongoDB is nice, but I don't know if there's anything else here I really need. I do like the APIs. This sentence is a little weak. And again, I want to be clear. I'm being extra picky on this person because this is their 4th time. So I would not be this incredibly picky on a person's first time, or even honestly if I was reviewing this for real. But I want to make sure that their 4th time is the perfection. They don't need to do it for a 5th time. So overall, good. Overall, a pass. The lack of a degree will hurt, I will say. But I think it is overcomeable. Just make sure to put the Google Cloud Platform and shrink the second sentence. Shrink the second sentence and either remove or add something beyond just an API in the 4th one. And I think you will do pretty well. So let's go to the next resume. This is a computer vision intern, but I could not find computer vision intern. I could only find ML intern and ML and computer vision intern. So this may be slightly incorrect in the actual skills that you would need to be a computer vision, but the taking direction and criticism and working well with others along with the degree is not. Those are going to be necessary. So every single intern needs to show that they are currently enrolled in school, or a way that they should still be in an intern. You can take directions and criticism, and that you can work well with others. Every single intern needs those 3. If you do not have those, you are probably not going to get moved forward. The thing that is different for every intern is the actual experience of the job, but it's usually even more basic qualifications than the basic qualifications. So in this case, I will see if I can find some form of computer vision, it'll count, but anything crazy like some what was it called? The Monte Carlo simulation is just going to be too much. So let me see. What is this person's ratio? Which I don't know if I have. I do not have. So normally I do the review first and then read what they say. But since I might not have the exact industry skills, I'm going to read what they say first. So a couple of things. I'm still in university. Yep, that is what you want to do for an intern. And I'm mainly looking for internships in computer vision in Singapore. So I am a US-based recruiter. I actually think I've gotten a person a job in Singapore before, but I am a US-based recruiter. So most of my knowledge is in the US, and sometimes it does work outside of the country. I will say most of the time it does work, but not all the time. So just because different cultures are going to have different ways of doing things, and I don't know those ways of doing things outside the US, sadly. I live and study in a different country, so I'm targeting remote roles. Over here, we've been told that the ATS looks for skill sections. Yeah, well, people say that in the US too, and it's wrong. Maybe in Singapore that's actually true, but also it could just be people are lying like they do in the US, because everybody says the ATS looks for skill sections here too, and they're wrong, so I would actually doubt that. So I've added at the bottom of my resume. Apart from that, this is an intern resume. Okay, so let me see if I can find what I need. And I'm going to have to judge this based on the US. I don't know the Singaporean market. I don't actually know if it's called Singaporean market. It might be called Singapore market. I don't know. I might be mispronouncing that word entirely. So 20 seconds to find what I need. And go. Okay, data sets. Why is this YOLO? Right, feedback. No, this is not good enough. Okay, so this would probably be a decline. Yeah, this would be a decline. So here's why. First off, formatting is not great. Again, this is more of a bullet point than formatting issue, but you can fix your formatting to be like this. Second off is this screams to me too complicated. Like when I'm looking for, this is for an ML intern, right? This is the basic stuff. I don't know what a YOLO, can I even look this up on the side? What a YOLO POS estimation model is. I don't know what that is. I have never heard of it. What is this even? It's an ultra analytics for accurate pose estimation, and it's human pose. I have no idea how that's related to be a computer vision intern. I struggle to even find the word computer vision. So again, this is closer. I have to judge this to an ML intern. Python is great, but what is RoboFlow? Why is that needed? You kind of made the mistake of going way too complicated when you needed to go in the other direction. Design and implemented a rule-based system, exercise correctness, rep, provide real-time access. Is that a requirement? I don't think so. None of the roles I saw said you need to develop a data annotation tool that replaced RoboFlow to generate YOLO format data sets effectively. No job description I have seen has that in there. So here, again, you don't really show that you worked well with others. Collaborate with a team of 4 other interns to develop the system using Git for version control is not enough. I need you to see, like, met weekly for meetings, went over each other's code and offered criticism. How did you actually work together? Right? Like, that's the key thing here is you don't tell me how. So this is a bad resume specific in the US. Maybe it's perfect in Singapore. I don't know. Is you don't tell me enough stuff. Like you went way too complicated. Like you don't tell me how you used Python here or PyTorch or TensorFlow, which is what I need. Again, skill sections don't count. All right. So your problem here is you just don't tell me what you need. Like there's not really anything here that is salvageable. Like I'm struggling to find other ways you can change your bullet points, but they just don't have any information. You basically are sending a blank page. Like, this page is practically blank because it has almost nothing I need. Git I can use, right? That's good. Python I can use, but nothing else. Like, where is the TensorFlow or the PyTorch or the cloud? The cloud I did see, so that one is good. Or the LLM. Where's the AI? Again, you don't want to just state complex AI model. Like if I was looking for multi-agent systems, you wouldn't necessarily want to put swarming or NXN because people may not know what that is if you were making multi-agent systems. But you need to put the basic stuff like LangGraph or just the word multi-agent systems. It's so hard to search for actual multi-agent systems. So that is the problem here. There's really nothing here in this resume for me. So I need you to go back to the drawing board. Formatting wise, you need to make it look like, again, this, which the Word version is now on my website. So, and then go through and actually look at these internships. And are they asking you for YOLO? Are they asking you for pose estimations? Are they asking you for WebRTC? Are they really asking you for just Flask, Python, GCP, which you did put, so the GCP was good. TensorFlow, PyTorch, and that's like the only things I could find, because this is the stuff they want to see here. Like, everybody makes the mistake of going too complicated. You don't want to. That is how you get rejected. So, next, resume. This is a Python developer. Now, we are now in the new year. At the time of me recording this, this was the 9th, and these are the new Python keywords that I have found. So, I want to go over them, because there's a lot of developers here in this chat, but this is also why you need to continuously update these, because this is different than my previous one. So, what we're looking for a Python engineer is Python. Yeah. Actually, Docker. Docker was in a bunch. I can delete that one. Python, any type of SQL, Docker. Cloud, absolutely should have cloud if like that was in almost every single job description. RESTful APIs or REST APIs, either one works. Git, CI/CD, oh my gosh, you need to have that. If you don't, that's real bad. You need to have that. That was again in like most all of them. And then either full stack or AI. Because it really seems like Python is now divided into full stack Python developers, in which case we want more of the full stack, or AI Python developers. And when you're going for AI, you also have to kind of choose a section in that. So maybe ML, maybe agentic, and then you need a couple of its keywords, like the tools you use for that one. So if you're going for multi-agent systems, you need LangGraph. LangChain is not going to be enough. Multi-agent systems need LangGraph. If you're going for regular agents, LangChain works. If you're going for ML, I don't have that off the top of my head, so I don't actually know. Nice to have is going to be Fast API, Flask, Django, and while I did see these were very rare, so if you do not have them in your resume, you're probably fine. It's ETL, Java, Auth2, MongoDB, microservices, and architecture. So those are very, very rare, and I think I'm going to start using, instead of nice to haves for some of these, is rare, so, because that was it was more rare. And that's closer to how it actually is. So again, if you don't have the rare stuff, that's fine, but you need the rest of it. So this person's ratio is bad, 150. They are in chat right now, so I'm going to review their resume first, read their note, and then help them after. Chat for the Twitch chat. So 20 seconds, and this is a new list, so give me a second, because this one I have to unlearn the previous one. And go. Okay, full stack, good. Getting agile, good. Insurance, secure link and factors. RESTful API with fast update backend. Okay, these are the nice to haves. React for TypeScript, integrated context, authorization, IXV dubbed, containerized Docker, deployed automating. All right, provide a full stack. So this is a problem. And you are not going to like it. I will read your note, but this would be a rejection. A, you don't have enough, although admittedly we just changed these, which is understandable. But B, why does your entire first project not have single Python? Remember, the basics are what we need. Why does Python for a Python dev start down here? That is a problem. If you are a Python dev, I need to see Python in the first 5 lines. Because that is what they really want. And how they hire these engineers, at least the current meta, if you want to call it that, is essentially they are looking for a software engineer first and an AI person second. So writing Python first is implying you're more of a software engineer than AI. So I know technically they're both, it's just that's the thought process. So you also didn't have some of this stuff. And again, the second one was mostly like nice to haves, like fast API off and SQL Academy, which SQL is nice, but you already put SQL here. So let me read what you wrote. I have more work experience, but it's in help desk. So the most recent internship is the most experience I've had. I have leverage for backend. I'm working on my projects for backend. Should I continue to list projects above experience in this context, since my internship wasn't directly software engineering? Yeah, I think that would probably be the case. But it looks like you added some of it. Like you did have AWS, you did have SQL, and you did have Python. So that's actually pretty good, and that's like most of the qualifications. If anything, and this is kind of the weird part, your project, the first one you showed, has less experience for Python than the internship. Because remember, like this is what we're looking for, and you know, it is good that I have PostSQL here. It's good that I have Git and Agile and CI/CD, but like you don't mention Python. I am aware that this implies Python, but you cannot use that. You need to state it. So, should I start freelancing to get a software engineer as a job experience to put in work history? I mean, it's nice to do, but I will be honest, freelancing doesn't really look as great. Kind of looks like short-term job hopping sometimes. So it could help you get other freelance jobs, but not necessarily the full-time roles you would want. So there are some ways to do it. I've applied to 200 jobs since the 21st. 90 of these applications using the resume I sent you with the recommended formatting. 25 instant rejections. 9 of these are resume I sent you. Everything else is in the dark. Yeah, well, again, like November, December, your ratios don't matter. Ratios don't matter until the 12th of January when it starts up again. And this resume does not show that you have Python. That's like a big issue with this one. The formatting's perfect, but the doesn't show Python. Also, you don't show where you are located. Remember, there is a reason I put U.S. citizen in Los Angeles. You do need to show your location. Location matters a lot. You cannot just be open to relo. Let's see. We'll likely take the sections out. Let's have more projects. So yeah, like you don't actually show this. Like that's kind of the problem. That's the theme for this episode is you imply you've done it. You don't show it. You need to show it. You don't show you've done Python. You do show how you've done like a little bit of TypeScript, fast API, CI/CD, but like you're a Python dev. Why does this not have Python? I don't care how implied it is. I don't care that X means Y. It doesn't. If it's not directly stated, it doesn't count. And then again, here your bullet points are kind of weak. So you wrote these mostly correct, although you need 3 of these in each bullet point. You only have about 2 in most of these, which is an issue. And then, but how you wrote them were correct. These, though, you wrote incorrectly. Like, no one's going to care about the percentages. So yeah, this fails, but I don't think this, how it's going to, the tweaks you need are not going to take too long. So let me help you in chat. For everybody else, we're going to the next resume. This is a resume of an analytics engineer in the financial services industry. This is their third time, I think. So what we're looking for is degree, SQL, Databricks, PySpark, data engineering, SDLC, building, testing, coding, Python, cloud, BI tools, data visualization tools, Tableau, Looker, Power BI, AI, CI/CD, large data sets, cloud, database management systems, MongoDB, Microsoft SQL, ability to collaborate with both technical and non-technical stakeholders, and extra credit, ETL, ELT, R, and data governance. Do you need all of that? No, you need 75% of that. Remember, almost every single job is going to have you only need about 75%. So this person has not started applying yet. They said this is their third iteration. They're preparing for this role, and they're going to graduate in April, and they want to get a 1 in 20 ratio after this. And I will say, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get a 1 in 20, 1 in 7, just because fresh grad's always going to be difficult, to be clear. But we might be able to. Again, I think a 1 in 20 is a pretty solid for a new grad role. It's just new grads are always... It's always the toughest. Like, everybody's saying, like, the toughest this, toughest that. Getting your first job in any industry is the hardest. Doesn't matter if you're graduating or not graduating. Getting your first job in a good market, which we are not in, is always the hardest part. So, let's see if I can find what I need in 20 seconds. And... Oh, I messed up the formatting here. Hold on. There we go. And go. Okay. Architected experience using Azure, Cloud, okay, Databricks, good. One link model, built and orchestrated ELT pipeline, data factory, Power Queries, PySpark. Analyze large data sets, insights to non-technical stakeholders, pilots supporting financial products. I need more on that one. Bridge the gap between finance and IT user requirements and the technical execution plans. Establish data governance, not bad. Okay, so this is not bad. I think we need to do a little bit of stuff. First off, again, if you can, even though you're moving to that place, you still want to put if you are a citizen or green card holder. If you're not, then don't put it. But if you are, then I would definitely put that. And in addition, that can be under it. So your lines here are slightly long. So we'd want it to be right here. And then under that, it would be relocating. And and this is the right way to say it. Degree, perfectly fine. Then we go down to here. So architected data lake houses. Good, I like that. Using Azure, I believe we have cloud over here, which, yep, cloud, so that's good. I'm taking it off. You found it. Fabric, I don't know if I've seen. Databricks, I do, so that's good. From multiple sources into a unified source. So my problem here is this is... unless you found other specific keywords that I didn't, which is possible, because it can't be in every industry, I don't think Fabric is needed, and this is also slightly too technical. The person reading this may not understand what it is that you're doing. Then we go down to here, and built and orchestrated data models and ETL pipelines. Again, this is good, but this part is extra credit. Using Data Factory, I don't think is going to be something. Alteryx, I don't think is something. Power Query, and PySpark. I don't think those are things that we're looking for. So they're not written incorrectly. Just those are not really what they're looking for. And again, you want your main course before the extra credit, right? Like if you put the extra credit first, it's going to be a problem. Analyze large data sets and communicated the insights to non-technical stakeholders. That is good. Using Python to support financials. So this is a start is good. You have SQL, you have non-technical. The problem is you can't just say communicated, right? And remember, I'm not asking you to just communicate. I'm asking you to make sure you're the technical person, right? How did you collaborate? You didn't really tell me the result of it, right? You did do the how, but I want to know a little bit more. Like, what was the result of you communicating those insights to non-technical stakeholders? I don't need to see that they made an improvement by 20% or something, but I want to know, like, you know, acted as a subject matter expert on X and Y, and explained the complex topics such as X and Y to our non-technical stakeholders so they could make decisions or something, right? Like, because financial and forecasting models are supporting, that's not really the decisions. I need to know how you did it, right? Like, I need to know. Like, I can't just say I collaborated with, I need to tell them the result. Like, I worked with hiring managers directly to fill their open roles, leading to an increase of fills and multiple kudos emails or something, right? I need to know the result of this. Bridge the gap between finance and IT by translating user requirements and technical issue plans, managing. Okay, so these are the same. To be clear, these are basically the same. This one says it pretty well. I like this one. So if you don't really need this part of the stakeholders when you could put it to here. And the finance and IT teams are also probably stakeholders, so you should combine these sentences. Microsoft Purview, I don't know if that's what I need. And AI agents is nice. So again, like, you're closing in on it, but there's a lot of extraneous stuff here, like DAX and Power Query, and I think PySpark. Yeah, and these two sentences should probably be combined. So you're close. I don't think we're there yet, but you're closing in on it. So yeah, I want to see just more of this stuff and less of the others. And this is really important in highly technical resumes, is you will get people that say all of this stuff, and it's entirely possible the recruiter doesn't know how to turn on their monitor. Hopefully they do, but they may not. And when somebody just starts listing all of these random things, it sort of muddies what we're looking for. So good start. I really like this. I think maybe by the next time you'll have it. But that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching very much. I'm still live streaming at the moment, and if anybody ever wants to join my live stream, that's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I wanted to thank you to all of the people that are sharing my videos, commenting, liking, reposting. Those really help me a lot. And to all of my members on YouTube who get to see my videos early. And I will see you all in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search.